Hello, everybody. This is part 8, the real truth of the physical world and the spirit world. Or we can say the spirit warfare. When you first wake up, they're more like keep your eyes on a few seconds, on a few minutes when you wake up. If you wake up, if you feel something like on the side of your cheek, like me at times, or like feel like something, a sore feeling come on the side of your face, on your left jaw. If you feel something like that, that's a negative spirit or negative psychic doing that to you. In my case, that'd be a negative psychic, literally putting that soreness feeling there. No matter whatever the level degree is, no matter you feel it fully or you feel it some, and you feel a little puffiness comes on your face more like when you first wake up. That's more like you catch more like the negative spirit, negative psychic. You caught them with the pants down. You woke up more sooner than they were expecting than you too. So when this happened, if it's something like something with a door on you, you got some negative stuff on you, and now you start seeing back on you like a little puffiness in your face, and now they added it on. Yeah, you literally caught them with the pants down. So be aware when you wake up if you feel anything that's added on you, no matter if it's a sudden pain out of the blue, a certain puffiness feeling like I be hearing, yeah, that's a negative spirit, negative cycle, literally adding that on you just right then. So then be aware of when you wake up. It's good to take it on a few seconds, on a few minutes, what's going on with you. For many reasons, what you've been going through, more like your days and night, it could be literally more like one of them literally just hit that on you. So by waking on a few seconds, a few minutes, and you're not feeling nothing, and then more all of a sudden like it's getting back on you. Yeah, it's getting back on you because they pin it back on you. So then be aware of that. That is not natural. That is unnatural. Now, one reason why but not come off track more like the negative spirit cycle when you wake up more sooner than they expect after they force you to go to sleep is more like they having these little parties more like throughout your brain, having these little parties. They do that at times. So if you catch them while they're doing that, whatever more stuff they got on you, it won't be on you. So you literally might feel the way you actually sort of feel in a few seconds or whatever, a few minutes. So them be aware on when they're doing it. And when they do it, they try to lightly put it on you. Then they try to pay a little bit more until they get that certain amount on you. So yes, again, I said it many times and I say it again. Definite oh yeah, keep your eyes in the on thing going as well. The more you be saying, the more they involved. If it's one arm, they involved. If it's two arm, the more involved. If three arm, there's more involved. Sometimes they keep it going on and on and on. So yes, definitely keep your eyes on. They like to put it in the frame for they can more like for many things. One similar like a pause button, more like when you're watching TV or movie. More like pause. Well, they give you time to do some same thing with them. They does it for many reasons as well, but of course the main reason is they try to more like put you like on a pause thing. Them be aware you start saying so many all of a sudden. They get very involved with the talking category. They get very involved with a long list of detailed things about you that you didn't know more like others could tamper with, but they can. And that could be someone like your neighbor, someone in town, or someone more you just came across, or someone on TV. Yeah, these actually more like psychics coming around you, doing these things. Yeah, it happen more often, and as well, if you catch one around you, more like sticking around, they're definitely trying to more like control you. So they're more like be aware of that. Be aware more like when they're using different parts of your brain, trying to act like they happen out. Only thing they're doing just using parts of your brain, and you don't want them using no parts of your brain. Yeah, for many reasons, you don't want them using no parts of your brain. And definitely don't be making no deals with them. And do not be trusting them as well. So, yes, it's important you not to trust them. And when you wake up again, taking on a few seconds, on a few minutes, what's going on with you. So, again, if you feel like this negativity thing, that negativity thing is starting to pull back on you, it's because of them. Even more like it when you are sick. You wake up and you feel perfectly well, healthy. Then all of a sudden, all your sickness start coming back on you. That's them as well. Yeah, they do get involved with sickness and a long list of things that links to the doctor. More like the common cold is just one out of a long list of many different type of sickness they get involved. They get involved a long list of things. Like I said before, you call them more negative spirit, negative psychic, or brain hackers. And it's not that hard for them to do this stuff. Not nearly as hard as you think it is. I say it's easy enough for them to do it. And you don't have to be no specialist in no type of more like category or go to some private school or be very book educated. No, you could have more like no education at all, as in you haven't graduated from more like a high school, and more like they can more easy to do it. I mean, it's real easy to do. It's a lot more easy to do than you think it is. It's a whole lot easier than you think it is to do. When you first think about it, you would think it's real hard for them to go around and be hacking different people's brain, but it's not hard as you think it is for many reasons. No, it really is not that hard at all. They're more like they go to the school, they teach them this, they teach them that, from a whole list of many things. They get taught into that school. I talked about more like a few videos back. Now open up your imagination now. Who you think will have no chance at all doing this brain hacking to people? Who you think will say, no way, no way, no way? Now, whoever you thinking right now, yes, they can do it too. Whoever you thinking right now, yes, they can do it too. That's how easy it is. Be aware of any type of attacks as well from what you're getting from them. No matter what reported about, it's so like a trademark. If you get an attack from someone, from them, that's more like the way the section might attack at. So then be aware who's attacking you, and be aware how they attacking you, what section of the body they're attacking you, how it feels, and a long list of many other things. So then be aware of that. And again, no matter whoever you imagine, the most in your imagination, as in imagination, when you picture out of different people you know you became across in your life, from people you directly know and people from TV, no matter who it is, you say, no way they can possibly do this. Yes, they can. Doesn't matter what the educational level is. It's a very easy thing to do. From the very second they break in your homes amongst homes, it's a huge control follow game. And how to keep up more like when following you, more they be using your brain and the memories in there to want to keep up with things. So they be keeping up more like how you walk, how you talk, how you more like do some things like fix things, or how you cook, or whatever hobby you got. They be picking up all kinds of things by using your brain memories and other things to keep up with this stuff. And of course, pin them more like a few things, determine how many is around. The more is around you, the more easier for them to keep up with all the many different tasks and things you do in your life. And you do use all your 5 senses and more to keep up with things. They be more studying and researching you days and nights. Now, depending on what time of the day, they could be more like having parties to you. They could be more like spamming stuff on you. They could be more like attacking you. Or they're just trying out something new, going by what you have seen information pour in. So that is one big way how they learn new information to do different negativity things right then on you. The things you directly see and the things you directly hear, no matter it's coming from a certain person, or more like it's something more like you have came across on the internet, or you have read something, again, from your eyes, to be using your direct eye to see what you see. Now, it's something like that called sleep apnea. Now, according to what this, depending on more like, if you got a certain amount of fat, wow, one person say, I don't want to say it doesn't matter how much fat, going by genetics. Now, your sleeping can completely stop. Wake up on gasping for air. Now, if you have something like a narrow airway, this is where another way more you maybe have this problem. Excessive daytime sleepiness and morning headaches. Sleep apnea is another disease out there for more like to pin people more like to sleep. Now, as well, this is another cover-up thing going on. Every bit of that and more when it comes down to sleep apnea, negative spirit, negative psychic can be involved. Now, they could be 100% involved when it comes down to that. Every single bit of that. It's not nothing about when I look at sleep apnea, a negative spirit, negative psychic cannot be involved doing every bit of that. So this is another category of excuse for them wanting to pin you to sleep. So be aware of that, because more like going by the list of things, yeah, just another excuse for them to put you to sleep. So then be aware if you got sleep apnea. That could be a natural thing, or it could be definitely an unnatural thing. So really do you some spiritual work and find out what is going on with you there. It could be any one of those there. Naturally, unnatural. If it's unnatural, you definitely got negative spirit giving the illusion you have this. So then be aware of that. Be aware when you're talking, if you're having problems saying this, and if your frame is too short what you're saying, you can have multiple negative spirit, negative psychic around very sensitive sections of the brain. You could have like one up to the top or two up to the top of your head, one on the left, one on the right, and of course one right in the actual bullseye where your third eye at. Right in there. So then be aware if you're having problems talking, saying this and saying that all of a sudden. Negative spirit, negative psych is 100% is involved. So really check yourself and really check them brain more like a pulse there. If you're feeling anything extra, anything is involved when it comes down to that. So yeah, bring your awareness up when it comes down to that. And as well, be aware if you are fitting or starting more like move your face completely in a direction more like if you're not doing it. If you ain't more making your face move in that direction, then it's more like a wheel behind that. And that wheel is a negative spirit, negative psychic. So then beware of your face making certain expression or starting to make certain expression. These are more sign, more like a negative spirit, negative psychic is involved. It's a long list of many control things these guys be doing. A long list of control things. You cannot trust them. Try saying something new at times and see you feel anything off, any type of vibration. If you say anything extra, something more like not apply to what you're saying, or more like something more like you usually say, then that's them as well. Be aware you saying extra words. Yeah, these are more information that is between the conversation. So yes, then be aware of them trying to get very, very involved with your life. Now you can pick up the vibrations, start more like notice. Now if you start to talk and you feel more like an extra present, like it's real close to you, like the center of your brain, you definitely got more like a negative spirit inside. If you can sort of feel or see the image, then that's the negative spirit inside, especially if it's one more like it looks just like that person. Yeah, your brain is telling you that's the intruder is right there, and your brain directly telling you that is the intruder. Your brain got different ways of letting you know different things is. So no matter it's vibration, no matter if you see something, or no matter if you hear something, or more like you can just really feel more like something's real close into very detailed section of your brain. When it comes down to a lot of these different control things, you need to be into detailed sections of your brain to really want to do these different things. Sometimes you need 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 on that one particular spot in your brain. So then be aware of any section you catch them in. Write it down, and as well more like talk about it more like on a video recorder. You need to always know these spots of the brain they are picking, trying to control you. If you pick up the vibration or you directly want to hear one of them talk about certain things, Be aware of any spam they send. I'm asking something negativity, or they more like they spamming some like Lucifer or God. Yeah, that's a negative spirit or psychic more like a rain. Be aware of these spam. Those two words or anything spam. Be aware of any type of spam. Now, I talked about more like the school before, and there's a lot of things they teaching at school. Another thing they teaching at school, more like the assassin, which we will be calling them leads of crickets. And now when you train the assassins in there, the assassin will come around you spiritually and do different things to you, going by different people who more higher them. And as well, not only will come to you more spiritually, but these assassins will come to you actually physically as well. And I repeat, physical as well. So the assassin what they teaching in school not only applies spiritually, but it applies for real as well. So definitely more like be aware of those as well. Now those assassins, we call them leads or crickets. Again, the name would be leads or crickets. So yes, one of these leads or crickets could be more like at the mall across from you and you won't know it. Yeah, and these go into the different types of missions here and there. So yes, definitely be aware of those. Them leads or crickets. I mean, they get trained more like into a place that you can't directly go to naturally. You more like they have to force you to sleep and to the dreaming process. This is basically more like where they more like be doing the training into another more like place. So yes, these are leads or crickets. And yeah, not only again, the assassin for more like the leads or crickets is on more like the spirit world and the physical world. So it definitely applies to both when it comes down to the leads or crickets. One thing about these leads or crickets, more like the focus, strength, speed, and a list of other things is more increased than average compared to the rest of more like these negative spirits and negative psychics. Yeah, they got some training underneath their belt. Yeah, other negative spirit, negative psychic do respect them a bit more, but we call them leads or crickets. So yeah, just like anything more like in the category more like assassin, they've been trained, so they do know a thing or two. But at the same time, again, we'll call them leads or crickets again. So definitely want to keep your eyes on them more like in the physical world and as well as the spirit world. It's going to be more harder. You want to spot them out more like in the physical world. But if they're around you spiritually, they will act more focused than the rest of them. So if you can pick up the vibration way between the other ones, so then want to keep your eyes on the one more focused, and others do want to show more attention to them. And keep your eyes on any fake more like leads or crickets as well. Some of the negative spirits and psychic be posing as them for their attention. So them be aware of that. So them be aware of both the actual real white leads or crickets and the fake ones. So them be aware. Now the real leads or crickets do have actual guns too. Just to clarify that. They do have guns. In the physical world and the spirit world, they do carry around guns. So yes, that's another topic more like do not talk about up here more like on the internet or more like on things I haven't came across in the books. Yeah, more people should directly talk about that. For many reasons, others don't talk about that. Now, those things don't apply to me. Yeah, like I said before, what others don't talk about, well, and for the reason why they don't talk about it, those reasons do not apply to me. So I will say things others will not say. This is just one of the many things I would say others will not say, but I will say. Now, if you start moving your head from left to right, if you start a little more feeling the vibration, a little more hearing these negative spirit and psychics more like running throughout your head, remember that spot where they're at. That's when they spot them more like they like to do different things on you. So that might write down whatever spot it is. Now it's some numbers and stuff more like for each section of the brain. If you want to keep up more like with numbers on the spot more like you catch them at. So yes, you can do that if you want to, or you can just more like write it down what spot it was, or you can just talk on a video recorder. Remember, whatever spot you catch them at, when it come down to you picking up vibration, or more like you're hearing them move, because they do got these spots more like on your brain they like to stay at to do different things. So yeah, find those spots and memorize them, and of course do some spiritual work on in and on spots you catch them at. Yeah, definitely do some spirit work on that. Now we come down to the leaves or crickets, and yes, they do want to be doing things on both sides of the fence, just like I said before, in the spirit world and as well the physical world itself. Now, this is another thing these leaves or crickets can do. They can more like teleport. So yes, they can do that more like into different places. Can't tell you exactly how far they can teleport, more like the exact current more like distance, but you can definitely teleport. Now, another thing as well, when it comes down to more like these leads or crickets, even more like the negative spirits and negative psychics, they can more like being more like other people's bodies, literally more like running around for different reasons. Now, depending on more like the individual whose body is original is, they could be more like doing it because they did some type of bargain deal, or they being more like tricked into it, or they're more like a whole lot of negative spirits like has gained them on them inside gain full control of their body and running around. So there's different reasons why if you come across someone that could not be actually them, could be a leaves or cricket more like running around doing something, or it could be a negative spirit or psychic. It could be any three of those. So them really know more like your family, your friends, and of course your close friends, and of course more like close family members as well. Know them very well. They know if you know anything different with them. Of course, this is more on full control, and they can go any those reasons I just mentioned, and other reasons more like if they somehow running through the body. So they do like to more like body snacks, more different people body, the negative spirits and negative psychics. This is another category of control. And like I said before, they practically living off your lifestyle. And this version here, they're doing a whole lot more than just living off their lifestyle. They're more like they're kicking the other one somewhere, or more like they got more like the other one made a deal. It's many reasons, many reasons. So definitely be aware if you notice someone you know, and they act a little bit funny, or they saying things are off. So be aware of it. I mean, it could be more like what's going on, or it could be them in them like literally more crossing up their words here and there, making them say the wrong word on purposely, butchering words, making them act a little bit funny. So be aware of that. It could be more like these things and more. So start from like just more like controlling them. I say more like maybe I get more like actual level of control, but just to say more like the controlling more at this degree, and they're doing a lot of different things. Then you got more like full control, basically more like the individual is not there, and they more like the back seat. If you see more like a lot of these horror movies, and they got more like demons into them, and more like when the demon possessed the actual individual, and the main individual in the back seat somewhere in their mind, kind of similar more like what these negative spirits and psychics can do to you once they gain up on you and do this and do that on you. So this is not just more like a thing you probably think is in fantasy. This is a real control thing as well. This can definitely happen, and this is one of those topics is very sensitive, and I can't say how many people out here is really talking about this, going by the stuff I have came across in books, things on the internet, and of course videos as well. I haven't heard no one talk about more like full control like this, but there are different stories of full control. You ever heard someone sleepwalk before? Well, that's a well example. They sleepwalking, and then they wake up, they don't know where they at. Now, during that time, from wherever location that negative spirit or negative psychic was controlling them from out of their place and went somewhere. And now more like the other individual now got back control of the body, and they don't know where they at. So them be aware that this is just a one out of many different example of a excuse from the physical world for more things that happen to you is linked directly to the spirit world. Now, here go one of these names, more like you probably might know exactly what I'm talking about or not. But here we go. The first name goes by Confusion Arousal. Again, Confusion Arousal. The other name goes by Sleep Distortion. Again, Sleep Distortion. You can call them any one of those, and it means the same thing. When you wake up, you're confused, you're not sure where you're at, you're looking up and down, you're still not sure about things, you're confused all the way around everything you see. You're confused for a moment or two. Now, when this happened, more like, again, negative spirit, negative psychic was doing a whole lot of things to you. A whole lot of things. Yeah, they've been doing a whole lot of things to you in the category of control. So yeah, this is more like the first notch. Count this more like the first notch here when it comes down to this section here. The second notch is even more control than that. And this second notch more like is again another excuse word they give more like to people out here in the physical world, and you really think that's the name and what's going on with you. And this thing is linked directly to the spirit world. Now, this other name is more widely known. This name here is called more like sleepwalking. It's called sleepwalking. When you walk somewhere and you wake up and you're not sure where you're at. This is more of that full control. It's more control going on here than you just waking up. You don't know where you're at. This one more like you literally your body went somewhere. Now, for your body to go somewhere, you have to be guided by a wheel there. If you ain't the one who's wielding and guiding your body, then it's someone else. The same thing go with if it's something so small as your toe move on its own. It's a wheel behind that as well. So these are more categories of control. So that might be aware if you come across more like someone said they just woke up, don't know where they at. No matter what they was in the bed or they woke up into a completely different city. Again, these are different levels of control. So then be aware of these things happening to you. When these things happen to you, you got a lot of negative spirits and cycles around you, and they definitely more into very detailed section of your brain. Now, on that note, that we're in it for more like part 8. The real truth behind the physical world in the spirit world. Now, if you want to hear more of what's going on around you, or the people don't want to talk about for different reasons, or they just don't know, more like jump on more to part 9. That's where I will be talking about more of these kind of things. I'll catch all of y'all over there.